Hello and welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast Live. Tom and I are here with you. Hope you had a happy Halloween. Got lots and lots of treats with the kids or for yourself or however you did it. Hopefully we had some epic professional wrestling themed costumes out there. So we are here. We are here. Lots to talk about, including Dave Meltzer, the John Cena tournament, Seth Rollins, Mickey James, Vince Russo, Andrade, and so much more, including the AEWWE that is currently in front of our faces. Cannot wait. We shall see you soon.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
You can see me this time. I'm not blurry. It's wonderful. Oh no, we've lost him. He's just staring. He's just staring. And he's muted, so we can't hear him. We can only see him. We can feel him. We can feel his power. Oh, he's gone. Shit. Well, that's a wonderful start. Wonderful start to the evening. Well, here we are. One Fall WrestleCast. WrestleCasting. We lost Walt right away. This is a great start to the show. Such a wonderful start. Kick it in. Walt goes, and he's gone. We've not heard from our elusive third member. We were hoping to, as we are always hoping to. We have not heard from our elusive third member. Old Forester is on sale in Pennsylvania if you get to a Fine Wine and Good Spirits for $25. That's not a sponsored ad. That's just a helpful hint to those of you in the Pennsylvania area and who like to pull coupons off of the front of shelves and buy whiskey. There's a coupon there on the front of that shelf. That being said, we got a lot of wrestling to talk about. Hopefully Walt is rebooting and we'll be back here shortly. But as Walt said, we've got lots of things to talk about. So I think I'm going to get started here because I know what we're talking about first and the rest of you don't. So we're going to get kicking this off with our boy, good old Dave Meltzer. So on the Wrestling Observer Radio, which is Dave Meltzer's, I guess it's podcast. It's not really radio. It's a podcast and a YouTube channel. He claims that he got a call from WWE during a critical moment for their creative direction. When their numbers dropped below a certain key threshold, Dave Meltzer had said that he got a phone call from WWE executive, Mr. Ed Cohen. Now, Ed Cohen said, Dave said, I got a phone call from Ed Cohen from WWE. And it was just like, he said that he's doing it out of, what was the word? Like his idea. But I sensed it wasn't his idea. And he's really pitching me and everything. And I was like, yeah, no interest at all. I had none. Does anybody else notice that like Dave Meltzer doesn't speak in complete sentences? Like it's really even hard to read what he says, which is weird because like the guy just comes off as like he writes, right? Like that's what he does. He wrote a newsletter, but he can't speak in sentences that make a whole lot of sense. Even if you read the sentences back, like you can't tell what the fuck it was he actually had to say. But anyway, Dave goes on to say, or does Dave go on to say? Dave said, yeah, no, none. He made it clear that he had zero desire to cross over into WWE's system. Despite the offer and likely solid compensation. Was it likely solid compensation? Did that need to be added there, ringside news? I'm sure like there was money involved, but like he never considered it a real option. I shot it down immediately, Dave said. I wanted to be a sports writer. People go, oh, you wanted to be a booker. You wanted to be a pro wrestler. Never wanted to be any of those things. I wanted to be a writer, so I did that. He also claimed that WWE reached out to Brian Alvarez through him, hoping Alvarez would join the creative team due to his reputation for humor and ideas. That offer didn't go far either. They came to me and it was like they thought he was really funny and creative. I pitched it to Brian and he couldn't. Basically didn't think he could last a week there and probably wouldn't. Meltzer didn't speculate whether Vince McMahon was behind the move, but he strongly implied that Cohen's outreach was likely not self-initiated. The anecdote paints a picture of WWE despite desperate enough to consider unconventional hires when the show's momentum started slipping. So if Vince was still in charge, this would have been, gosh, way back when they started slipping would have been what, 2019, 2020s, like early 2020, kind of through the pandemic, basically right around, actually, when did they start slipping? When they dumped dog food on Baron Corbin. I mean, that was pretty bad, right? Would it have been when the McMahons all stood in the ring and pointed at Baron Corbin and were like, you're fired as Constable Corbin because you suck at your job? But it was actually them that sucked at their job at the time. There was a lot of weird spots. And if they reached out to Dave Meltzer, I don't know that it's that weird of a thing at that moment in time. It's like, oh, we're going to reach out to Dave Meltzer. Maybe Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez can save us now. If it was like 2019-ish, when was the dog food incident? I wish Walt was here. He'd be like, that was November 3rd, 2018 or something like that. Whenever the dog food incident was. If it was around that moment in time, I mean, weirder things have happened, you know? Do I believe it? I don't really know. Here he comes. Thank God. So I'll catch you up.
I'm just glad that that this wasn't just radio silence. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when I clicked the intro, everything stopped.
So what I did was I clued everybody in on our first topic, and I read all of Dave's quotes because I had them here pulled up because I knew we were going to talk about it first, about how WWE had allegedly reached out to Mr. Meltzer and Brian Alvarez to try to get them both to join the WWE creative team at a time when WWE had slipped so far in the ratings that they were looking for somebody to really, pull it back in. I surmise that this may have been some point around 2018 or 2019, somewhere around when they were pouring dog food all over each other, Baron Corbin and
Roman
Reigns. That was my
FTR was involved in that as well.
They were, or maybe around Uzi Hot. Or do you think it would have been the point in time when all of the McMahons stood in the ring and pointed and laughed at Constable Corbin, and laughed at, despite them being the ones who were the idiots, not him? I'd love to get your thoughts on when this may have been.
I feel like that's probably a great timeline. You know, if indeed this phone call did happen, you know, I mean, Ed Cohen, who was, you know, of the Vince McMahon era.
Yeah. Ed's been gone a long time too.
Seems like somebody that was pretty close to Vince to have made that decision. And I don't necessarily know that Vince and Dave were the best of friends.
Or on speaking terms ever, or would have.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that they weren't, because they very well could have been, and we just didn't know about it. But I feel like.
So we're saying it wasn't Dijakovic who was leaking all the info.
Yeah, I mean,
he was calling. Dave was calling Vince himself. Vince, what's the lowdown for SmackDown tonight?
It just all seems really, really far fetched that WWE asked Dave Meltzer for anything.
I mean, the product was pretty bad at that point, And maybe they kept it on the down low, the hush hush, and maybe Vince was like, "Hey, pal, see if Dave, man, just test the waters, pal, with Dave, because you never say never in WWE. That was always his favorite thing. Now I feel like, and I think Brian Alvarez commented and said this too. I feel like had either Dave Meltzer or Brian Alvarez gone to be creative in WWE, they would not have lasted more than a couple of weeks at most. How long did Eric Bischoff last? A month? Month and a half? I don't think
Well,
they'd have lasted.
he was there 90 days. He actually never made it to the Fox network, because it didn't work out. Like, Eric was so disconnected from what WWE had been doing at that point in time that he really had no understanding of any of the storylines or any of, really who any of the talent was. And those are his words, not mine.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
That was kind of
they just
that to
decided
me
that
seemed
they were going to.
like if you're gonna make like $1 million, it seems to me like you could spend 6 to 8 hours to just sort of figure it out, right? Like you could probably watch some and WWE has been good at these recaps and clips and being able to quickly catch up for a long time. And I feel like if you're Eric, you can really sort of like spend a afternoon and sort of be caught up at least with who the main players are, and then you could show up and meet everybody.
And I mean, and despite what we want to say about Eric Bischoff or anything like that, I think that the dude does have a pretty smart wrestling brain. And I think, like you said, 12 to 36 hours, just kind of paying attention and digging through a little bit. I feel like he would have been in a much better place coming in. But clearly that was not to be. And at the same point in time, I don't see Vince or Ed Cohen, for that matter, reaching out to Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, who have never been involved with professional wrestling outside of their own little dirt sheets, to come in and fix creative.
Yeah, I don't think, nor do I think they would have been able. They would have been likely to be able to fix creative in any way, other than maybe be like, "Oh, this sucks." But then again, I think they would have thought that like even things that didn't sucked, and they would have just shot everything down and immediately been like, "All right, you two get the hell out of here." And that would have been that.
And we were very much 2018. We were very, very much at the beginning of that audience of one booking, where everything just went to hell in a handbasket. And like you said, next thing you know, we're throwing dog food on fucking Roman Reigns, and it was just a whole thing. So no, I don't believe this claim, but then again, as we tend to sway when it comes to Dave Meltzer news. The dude has zero credibility in my eyes.
Yeah, me neither. I don't believe him generally ever.
There's been so many other things that have happened with Dave in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 months that I've just chose for us to not talk about, because at this point it has zero here, meaning you and I.
Yeah, no, I don't think that Dave is. I think I think since Dijakovic has been gone, his clearly one insider guy, and that's who came out as it was like, oh, it was him. He was the one leaking stuff to the dirt sheets. Since that happened, anything Dave says is purely speculation. So there's no like, oh, insider. He's not an insider. He has no more inside information than you or I have. He's got educated guesses, and that's basically it. I don't know that this was an educated guess as much as it was him trying to toot his own horn, to say that he spoke with him, an executive here. But I kind of think it was BS. At the very least, I think it's sort of blown out of proportion. They may have talked, And he may
I
have
doubt
joked.
it.
I doubt it too. I think at best they spoke, and he said, maybe you should be on creative, and that was a joke, and that was the end of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that could have been, but I highly doubt that there was any conversation between WWE and Dave Meltzer.
Certainly on an official capacity, I certainly agree with you. I don't know, if maybe they're friends. Maybe they like to have messy offices together. Nobody knows.
I mean, as somebody that has a messy office, I mean, that thing is fucking a shit show.
As somebody who gags at a messy office, that's an unlook at that's an un if I were to walk in and see my office that way, I would immediately call off, go cry, and then come back and clean it for the rest of my day off, because that's
But I think that's like some kind of ADHD thing. Like, you ever look at, like, Albert Einstein's desk was always messy, and they say that some of the most creative and genius folk have a hard time keeping their personal spaces organized. So, maybe Dave's just the fucking second coming of Albert Einstein.
I mean, I would agree with you, but I've
E
listened.
equals WW squared.
I would like to agree with you. However, I've listened to the man talk, and he can't even put a sentence together. So I have a hard time believing that.
Touche. So going from one chooch to another chooch, fucking let's talk about Vince Russo this week.
Oh boy.
Russo says that Stephanie McCurr would never succeed in the Attitude Era because she can't even cut a proper promo in English. Now
What?
listen, here we go. Check this out. Because this is going to be the first time that I think that you're going to have a loose agreement with Vince Russo. He said the fact that the belt,
I hate that, but go on.
The fact that the belt is on this woman and the way she delivers and cuts a promo, like there's no way when I was working she would have ever got to that level, not having the ability to cut a promo.
So I'm not going to agree with that, because like she can cut a promo.
Yeah, but you are the same gentleman that 4 weeks ago was like, they put a microphone in front of her far too often.
I mean, they do, and I understand the on-screen, like the necessity.
It's getting hard. It's getting hard.
I think you're over exaggerating.
The same promo every week.
It is the same promo every week. It really is.
I mean, I'm just saying.
But if you remember the Attitude Era, there were a lot of guys that cut the same promo a lot. I think that she certainly. Also, hold on. Let's back the truck up. Beep, 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 beep. So,
are you really going to go to this great of lengths to not even be in the same stadium as Vince Russo?
Because, all right, look, during the Attitude Era, especially as a woman, she's a woman who was, one, super attractive and absolutely marketable on that, and two, can wrestle her ass off.
Have you seen the junk in that trunk?
I mean, they've literally got a move based around it, okay, that she employs. She employed it tonight already. They were the first match. She would absolutely be the champion in the Attitude Era. Like, they would have just given her somebody to talk. That's all they would have done. They would have been like, you person go talk. They'd have let Bubba Ray Dudley talk for her. They'd have let
Bubba?
Yeah, exactly. She'd have been an honorary Dudley, is what exactly would have happened. But she would have, instead of being an honorary, she would have been like the champion and in charge of the Dudleys. She would have told them what to do, because I'm sure she could be like, Devon, get the tables. And like that, she could have done it. That would have popped. Oh my God.
Yeah, they did that with Stacy Keibler, remember?
Yeah, they did. Could you imagine if Stacy Keibler could have also actually wrestled? And she may have been a women's champion or Divas champion at the time or something to that. But could you imagine if Stacy Keibler had the wrestling acumen of Stephanie McCurr? Like,
I mean, the male superstars in the Attitude Era didn't have the wrestling ability that Stephanie Verker has.
no, they didn't. They certainly did not. So, look.
I'm sorry, you used the word acumen.
Acumen, yes. I used a big one. It was a big word.
Well, at least you didn't call it a moveset. I mean,
no, the moveset is for
fucking Mark. I knew you're Mark.
A
I knew you couldn't
is
just leave
for
it be.
if you're a Mortal Kombat character. That's a moveset.
Oh, you're such a Mark. I love you, bro.
I am. But her, they would have just stuck her with the Dudleys. They'd have put the belt on her because she was clearly the best women's wrestler. She would have been probably like the best wrestler, like period at the time. So she'd have been champ. The Dudleys would have been the tag team champs, and routinely they would have had a segment every week that lasted 15 minutes, and Stephanie would have been like, "Devon, get the tables." I'm 100% certain that her
fucking hook up the devil's kiss and go, "What's
that?" Absolutely. Like, how does this not write itself? Like, Vince Russo is a fucking idiot. That's exactly how that would have been booked. He wouldn't have booked it because Vince would have already had it booked when he walked into the room. And she would have devil's kissed everybody, man, woman, child, into a table.
Hear me out. Instead of doing it on the back of the head, do it over their face. That's good shit, pal.
Yeah. She'd have done that and then given him a Bronco Buster. And probably a stink face. Fuck it. She'd have had all those moves.
She can give me.
Uh-oh.
That thing is nice.
Okay.
I'm back.
So,
the internet is just not doing me any favors right now.
No. But look. Vince Russo's a moron. Okay? Like, what was it? 2 weeks ago? He was like, I don't know, guys. I don't know, bro. I heard that John Cena's not happy, bro. He's not happy, bro, about how his heel turn was booked, bro. And he's been talking with AEW, bro. Like, that's where we are with Vince Russo. Like, not only does he not watch wrestling, so he has no fucking clue what's going on, he's just spouting off at the mouth. That's all he's doing. He's just, well, I don't know, bro. Tell you what, bro. Like, you're an idiot. Like, she would have absolutely been featured week in, week out. They'd have found a spot for her. If they didn't think she could speak well enough to give her a microphone, they'd have let somebody else speak for her, and they'd have let her devil's kiss somebody's face through a table every single week, and crowds would have exploded. And yeah, she'd have slapped Devon. Devon, get the tables. We just saw that all the time. It would have been amazing, and she'd have been part of a ladder match with Trish Stratus and Test and Prince Albert.
Oh my God! Speaking of Trish Stratus, did you see her try to break the internet on Halloween?
I did.
Oh my God, dude!
It's like, weird. It's weird to think that she's only like 47.
I'm
right?
like, yeah, I mean,
like she's only a little older than we are.
She was in the right place at the right time for our
49.
Years.
I'm sorry, she is 9 years older than we are, which is about correct.
Yeah, she was at the right place at the right time.
So when we were 16, she was 27. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
That checks out.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah. So, listen. Regardless of you trying to back your way down that dark, dingy, trash-filled Vince Russo alleyway, I think that you're stuck in that alleyway, bud. Because I think you agreed with Vince Russo.
That's a bold and long stretch for that claim. And I wholly disagree. I'm
just saying.
Do I think that she would have been put on the same pedestal that she's put on now? Whereas she sort of almost has, I don't want to call it a stone cold the Austin spot, but do I think that she would have been handed a microphone as often as she's handed? No, probably not. Do I think she would get any less TV time? No, I don't. Despite there being more TV time to go around present day, I think she would have the exact same amount of TV time. I think she would have the exact same amount of matches. I just think how she gets to present herself would be a little, because like think about how often we saw Gangrel on TV. David Heath couldn't cut a promo either. Like he could not. He was
yeah, but that
they
shit
just
was
found
over,
ways
bro.
around that.
That shit was over, bro.
That shit was amazing. I'm not knocking it. I loved Gangrel.
Wow.
I loved every second of that. You will not find a bigger. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that he didn't get more mid-card title runs. Like he should have been like a 6-time Intercontinental Champion.
He's a 0-time Intercontinental Champion.
I know, but he should have been like a 6-time. He won the European.
Yeah, but regardless, that was put together to fucking send Edge to the moon. Man, I miss that guy.
Christian carried the coattails up, and now he heard you had a thought. But yeah, I can't. That dude is that he turned Edge turned 52 this week.
Edge is dead.
All right, Adam Copeland turned 52 this week.
Oh,
is Edge dead? Because there's people about to join the John Cena tournament that don't even work here.
So listen, we got to talk about this, right? Like, first of all, we have no idea where the booking's going. We've been talking about it for months. It's like, hey, what do they do? Because John's got like 3 fucking appearances left.
Yeah, he's not going to be here.
You can't.
And they are still trying and sort of failing to sell tickets at an exorbitant amount.
Yeah. So I know that we touched on it a couple of weeks ago. Tom and I had made plans to go to John Cena's last match, Saturday night's main event, and I was in on the pre-sale. I had a pre-sale code.
Now, we did not know when we had initially planned this what ticket prices might actually look like.
Yes. So I had a pre-sale code, and
we assumed $500.
Yeah, I think that we were both comfortable around that range to make this trip. For
decent seats, not like
for decent seats.
That wasn't. I didn't want to pay $500 and sit like on the like outside of the stadium.
Yeah. No, like I think we were in agreement that was gonna kind of be where we were at. So I had early access code, which I was in on the pre-sale, and I get in there and I wait my turn in line. Only to be greeted with the presidential packages that they sell for, like the big events like WrestleMania and stuff. We talked about it a few weeks ago when we started really, really hammering WWE on their ticket pricing. That WrestleMania package is like $68,000. Is that for 1 day or 2 day? We don't know. Regardless, It's ridiculous. So I was in on that, and that was all the only tickets that were available. So that was on Wednesday. Tickets went on sale that following Friday at 10 a.m. And I was on Ticketmaster at 9:50, trying to, waiting to just click go. So once I waited my turn and I got in, plenty of tickets left.
To this day, I actually looked earlier. Still lots of tickets.
And I go, and the worst seat in the building was selling for $947 on Ticketmaster.
And that's like behind a pillar. You're not going to see what's happening. You can't see a screen to see what's happening, but this is more of an auditory experience at that price. I want to say seats that had visibility of the ring were somewhere around $1,300, if I'm not mistaken, each. That's not for a pair. It's each. It was gross. And to get anything decent, we're talking $3,500, something on that first level. I'm not talking on the ground, like in the
No, in the lower bowl where we sat at the very first AEW show in Pittsburgh for $35.
3,500. Yeah,
after fees.
Yeah, add 2 zeros to that. It's 3,500 to see that. Those were God. I know when I was a kid, I sat one time 4 rows back at Raw in Pittsburgh, and my dad paid secondhand $300 for both seats, and we were on the floor but he paid $300 for both, which was a lot of money. But my dad was like, I want to go. He wants to go. It's Raw. It's in Pittsburgh. $300. We can do this. It's a once in a lifetime thing. $300, right? $300 doesn't let me sit in the porta potty outside anymore for this John Cena. Like, it doesn't buy me parking.
And like, I get it, right? Like, I understand the meaning behind it and trying to cash in and, whatever. I understand that it's a big event. But that's a little fucking absurd. And again, without me falling down this fucking well again, and, Lassie, I need help. Timmy's in the well. It's fucking ridiculous. And the picture making the rounds right now, right at the beginning of the show on Friday, it's clearly the hard cam side that's all, sectioned off and blah, blah, blah. But, to the left, to the right of it looking pretty empty. And up behind it looking pretty empty. It's just a matter of time until this starts catching up. And
allegedly, according to Sportskeeda, or Wade Keller particularly, on the date Friday, and I don't know if these were Ticketmaster prices or if these were secondhand prices, seats were going as low as $8. But that was on Friday. So I don't know if those were $80 or $800 tickets on Thursday, but as of Friday, those ended up being $8 seats in there. Now, in fairness, Friday was Halloween, and also if you didn't plan to go to a WWE show on Halloween, you probably were not picking up. You probably already had something to do on Friday, whether that was take your kids trick-or-treating, go to a party, hang out with the buddies, and dress up like wrestling personalities and go to a party or something to that effect.
And it sounds like that's personal experience.
It may have been. I may have sent you several photos.
Yeah.
We may have won. Should I go get my trophy? We may have won a best overall.
Elizabeth.
Oh, man, and Miss Elizabeth. Yeah.
Please tell me you did the voice all night.
Oh, yeah. Especially when I did the pinky point. Yeah. Especially while I was, wearing the wig. Yeah. And the tights. I had the tights all night. Yeah. They were amazing. Yeah. Ashley says we could share the pic. Should we share the pic? Should I share the pic? Hold on. I gotta send it to myself and I'll share the pic. I can do this. I have with the power of the internet. I'm going to send it to myself. Actually, I'm going to send it to Ashley. Hey, I already have it. I'm going to send 2 of them.
I did have it loaded up, but that's probably why my internet keeps crashing. So please do what you're doing.
See, I broke the internet. Me and Ashley broke the internet. All right, hold on.
Well, I think Trish broke the internet. You guys just added to the tearing of the fabric.
Did you like my whole spin in the chair? Like I showed my back to I did a lot of that. People looked at me real confused, but the people that got it were really interesting. They were really really picking up what I was putting down, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Put this in the gallery. We're gonna save that one, and we're gonna save this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good. I got the right one. All right. I'm gonna presenting an image file. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gallery. Yeah. All right. We got two. We got two to present. Here's one. Yeah. And yes, I did that. I can lift a grown woman on one shoulder. Thank you. And yes, she does look like a smoke show. Thank you, everybody. I can, let me see. How do I do this? We're gonna remove that from the stage. We're gonna remove that from the studio. And we're gonna present a new one. Here's the second one. This is us. Where's the one where we're down on the ground? Down on the ground. That's what I'm looking for. Here we go. That's the one. There we go. And that's that one. Go ahead and put that one up there. And there we are, holding the WWE title. Ooh, yeah. You could see the locks flowing there. I really had to cut that wig back a good bit to get that orange bandana on. I felt like the bandana would work. Shout out to the witch in the background. I did not have wrestling boots, but I went with tall socks and white shoes. I felt like it went okay. Yeah. So
I mean, you could have just went to Walmart and got a pair of fucking women's boots and just put your foot.
I don't know that women's boots come in my size, hon. But they're bud.
What size you wear?
An 11, dude. What size is like a women's 11? Like a
12 and a half.
12 and a half?
Yeah.
Does that exist? I don't shop at Walmart. That's the other thing. I would rather I would honestly rather just wear high socks and the shoes I already have than actually go to Walmart.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. The three stripes just doesn't seem very Macho Man to me. You know,
honestly, we should have been more just, you know, our pick. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, God forbid, like you've got zebra stripe fucking tights on. I mean,
God do.
Forbid, you know.
I do. And we practiced.
This was fucking epic. You guys killed this shit. Like,
we practiced the lift several. So the way to get the lift up, because like it would have been embarrassing to like throw my back out in like our friend's front yard, which is where the party was happening. So I was like, all right, you got to like step up onto something, because like if I have like a little leverage, I can just bend down and lift you up. But once I had her up, like we had to walk over in this corner here. I was probably about 6 feet away from where we ended up actually taking the picture. So I like lifted her up on my shoulder and walked over there, and went great. So shout out to my beautiful girlfriend. She looked amazing. She did all the heavy lifting and the looking good, if you can't tell. And I did all the lifting of her. So I felt like it worked out for us really well. And I got to wear a wrestling shirt, so win. And I wore the zebra stripe tights. I did not actually have to buy the wrestling shirt. I own the wrestling shirt because
why wouldn't you?
Because why wouldn't I? Well, because my wonderful girlfriend bought it for me. That's why too. She bought it. She bought it a couple years ago. It was not for this costume, but yeah. Oh yeah. It was amazing, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, Halloween, trick or treat at your buddy's house, dressed like Macho Man. Not predetermined to go to a show whenever. The ticket prices dropped. Out the bottom. Really, that's disappointing.
So I think also like, and not to be a WWE stan on this, but like, I feel like this is going to kind of start to be the norm, especially with the holiday tour coming up. I think we're going to see a lot of ticket prices, and I'm kind of paying attention to the Pittsburgh ticket prices too, because they're coming. Their holiday tour is the 27th in Pittsburgh, which is a Saturday, and I'm kind of like looking at it like right now. I think the cheapest tickets are like $65, $75, which I'm not sitting in the nosebleeds for a house show for $75, but I'm going to look on the Christmas Day. And if them sons of bitches are $8 or $12, fuck, even $25, you'll get a hey buddy, Merry Christmas. What are you doing on Saturday? Phone call, and I'll be like, how many tickets do I need to buy? Kind of thing. And we might be going to the ye ol' holiday show, because I would love to take the kids. So we'll see. If we can rob if we can rob the train, so to speak.
Dawn.
Gone?
Why?
Dawn. Oh, Dawn's here. Hi, Dawn.
Why do you do this shit to me? Like, you do it to me. You understand that, right? I have to deal with this. You do this to me. What did I do to you? Our friend Dawn says, hey, great pictures and decorations. Did you guys have to take down all the Trump signs to put those up?
Funny enough, he did do this to you. Funny enough, our friends hate Trump too. So there were no Trump signs to speak of. If anything, what I would have really liked to see is somebody show up as the South Park version of Donald Trump. Hey, Satan! And the South Park version of J.D. Vance. Boss! We must make sure that this baby can never be born. Are you caught up on South Park? No. I have not watched the Halloween episode yet, but I'm caught up to that. You need to watch it. Oh boy. They're pandering to me. Oh yeah.
So I'm on vacation that week. We can absolutely try to go if that happens.
Well, I mean, look, buddy, if tickets drop to like $20 and we can sit like lower bowl, let's fucking go. Now, I'm not paying $20 to sit at the top where like my back is against like the wall and like the ring is 650,000 feet away and it's like everybody looks about this big. Like fuck that, because it's just a TV show. Or it's not even a TV show. It's not even televised. But if we can get lower bowl for like $20-ish, we're taking the fan.
Yeah, for sure. Into it.
Fucking going.
So we give you all of that to finally circle back and talk about the John Cena tournament announcement. Some interesting things to take away from that vignette, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. However, I'm trying not to get my hopes up.
You definitely shouldn't get your hopes up because it's clearly TNA that he's talking about.
It's probably Joe Hendry, right?
It's 100% going to be Joe Hendry because Joe Hendry has been angling to get a match with John Cena on this retirement tour. And it seems as if that is going to come to fruition.
It seems as though he's going to be in the tournament. It's not going to be Joe Hendry. It's going to be Gunther. It's going to be Gunther.
I don't think we see Gunther till fucking Royal Rumble, bud.
I think it's going to be Gunther. Unless he's unnecessary, unless he's hurt in a way that we're not aware of.
Well, he had to have his orbital reconstructed.
He did?
Yes.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe you're right. It'd be great if it was Edge, though.
No, it wouldn't.
No, it probably
really wouldn't. Listen,
it would probably be really bad, actually.
It would be amazing from the standpoint of, like, you know, the legacy of the rivalry that those two guys have.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be the worst the absolute worst, most god-awful piece of business that would have ever taken place on live television in the man's in the man's career, and to be his last match would be an unexcusable abomination.
It would probably be the worst match of the John Cena retirement tour.
Yes.
Because
Don the Barber says, hopefully it's a El Grande Americano.
He's certainly going to be in the tournament. I thought about this earlier today because I shut it off as the Americanos came out. Has El Grande Americano sort of become Doink the Clown?
Yes.
Is that not? That's where we are, right?
Yes. I think
it's
that's
like a little bit better than because
no,
like Matt Bourne Doink was great,
yes.
But like
peak Doink.
Whoever the next, because there were a couple other guys that were
Ray
Doink.
Apollo was the babyface Doink.
Right, like babyface Doink was awful. Like babyface,
fucking god awful.
Babyface Doink was losing to Bushwhacker Luke on a week.
Matt Bourne heel Doink was ahead of its time.
Fucking terrifying. Look, I'm afraid of clowns as a 40-year-old.
That's my wife.
Because of Doink the Clown.
Really?
Absolutely.
Huh.
So, short story. I worked at PNC Bank.
I doubt it.
I worked at PNC Bank. One point in time at PNC Bank for like Employee Appreciation Week, they were like, on Friday, we're going to have like 8 clowns here. And I was like, you're going to have fucking how many clowns? And I immediately walked to my manager like, I need Friday off. And she was like, why? I was like, because you're having fucking 8 clowns, and I'm terrified of clowns. Like, I'm not fucking hanging out with clowns. And she was like, I've never heard you swear at me before. And I'm like, can I have the day off or not? And she was like, put it in, I'll approve it. And I was like, okay, great. And I did not go to work that day.
You pansy.
Fuck that. Fuck clowns. That shit's wrong. Don't be a clown. Like, that's no. Hard no. Hard pass. Fuck that. I'm out.
Crazy.
With clowns, I'm out.
But yeah, I'm telling you, dude, it's Joe Hendry. He's going to get his match. Because the belief is that he's one of the next big things in WWE. Why not give him the stage with fucking the greatest of all time? It makes sense. It makes sense. I wouldn't
hate it, but that seems really like
I'm just saying. That
seems like
he's over, bro.
I mean, if anything, let Dom do it.
Say his name and he appears.
Have it be Dom, if anything.
No, Dom doesn't need any help. Dom's on his own. Dom's on his own path. He doesn't need that rub. Joe Hendry needs that rub.
Fair enough, but what if it doesn't work out? And it's like, oh, remember that time when they wasted all of John Cena on fucking Joe Hendry?
Yeah, but it's going to come down to what John wants.
That's not what he said.
Now, of course, that's not what he said. It's going to come down to what John wants.
Joe Hendry's 37 years old.
Just saying.
Gonna be Joe Hendry?
Just saying.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Maybe it'll be Randy Orton, for God's sake.
That'd be awful.
I mean, that would be not as awful as if it was Edge, but it would be.
Because if they were going to circle back and do it, they should have let Randy win the title.
Yeah. And we haven't really seen Randy. I don't know if he's like super not coming out or whatever. Anyway, we can talk about Randy later, but yeah.
I don't know. I just think that
I'm excited for the tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
They had the lottery thing out tonight.
I have not watched yet, so I'm looking forward to that.
I watched the first hour. I didn't watch anything that was worthwhile. CM Punk cut a promo. It's exactly what you would expect. The bronze came out. It was exactly what you would. Logan Paul was there.
Oh, I thought he was retiring.
He's not.
Yeah. Exactly what you would expect.
Exactly what you would expect. Exactly what you would expect.
Yeah, man. I just, I don't know. I'm excited for the tournament. I think that this is really a tongue-in-cheek, hokey kind of way to get out of booking anything meaningful for John's last match, because they just fucked up and they just they mishandled their time,
Oh, they're just shooting from the hip.
And yeah, when they made the abrupt change from the heel turn, we should have seen this coming.
Yeah,
We should have seen this coming.
I feel like I'm being overly optimistic at the moment because it's like, but wait, there could be something good. But every time, I feel like every time I've said that in the last year and a half, I've been burned like severely. So like, I feel like I need some like burn cream because they've really not been very good at this. And as we were talking about ticket sales for this past Friday, they're starting to feel the same heat. So
yeah, so I don't know, man. We'll keep you posted on the happenings of the John Cena tournament. I'm sure. It sounds like Tom and I are kind of in agreement that we're excited for the matches that are going to come, but definitely not the road that we thought we were going to take to end John Cena's career with the WWE.
Man, what if Vince Russo's right and if John Cena actually shows up in AEW, which I don't think I think there's 0% chance of that happening. But if that actually happens, I might actually throw up. Like I'll be like, bleh, bleh. Like can't. Okay, we're not gonna talk about this. My gag reflex is already starting to kick in.
Well, why don't you go grab yourself a trash can? Make sure it's got a trash bag in it, because
Right
Mickey James finally told us what's in the bag.
What was in the bag, Mickey?
I've been on this for 3 years.
Years.
And Mickey finally let us know what was in the bag. She said, I wasn't as offended as the fans were when it happened, because I don't think you realize how many times we've been offended. She said that over the years, you've just become so numb to getting your feelings hurt. It's just business, despite the odd presentation. She kept the trash bags as kind of a memento, noting, I still have the trash bags because I'm keeping them. Receipts. And then, she goes on to express sympathy for Mark Carano, who was fired over the incident, saying that her and Mark were always good friends, and that
really, because she dragged the motherfucker.
That Vince had personally called her, telling her, hey, your voicemail box is full. Never thought of you that way. I've always thought very highly of you, and I'm sorry that happened and that person isn't here anymore. But she just goes on to say, adding in a joking manner, oh, my jackets, I'm so excited.
Okay.
She got her rain jackets. So, the something that, like we've said all along, required the garbage bag vessel to contain into one space to give to said talent.
And I mean, look, I'm not trying to say like Mickey James is like, and she's an interesting character, right?
She's trying to get her job back. That's what this sounds like.
Right. But she's like because she was like kind of main event during the women's era where like women didn't have main events, and then like once
she was the women's division's first great heel. If you remember that fucking psycho character with Trish, she was like the first really great heel in the modern era.
James thing, and that was like real demeaning, but she leaned into it real hard, and I don't know, man. It was tough because like you're right, she was a great heel, and then like, and she was fucking terrible and mean to everybody, and then like they were like, oh, Piggy James, and they put the little pig nose on her, and it was like, okay, she was 10 times meaner to everybody else, but like this is offensive kind of a thing. It's like this is still wrestling, right? Like everybody's gonna be mean to everybody else, but like now it's like, oh, poor Mickey James, who was never like overweight or out of shape or like anything. Like it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna make fun of her. It was just like, oh, it's your name is Mickey and we're gonna rhyme it with Piggy, and like it kind of makes sense. It's funny in a sense. Like, am I wrong?
Oh, no. Don Barber says, I'll be at the Rhode Island Comic Con this weekend, and I will be stopping by to see Cross and Scarlet, and I will let them know the hate Tom has for them.
I don't hate Cross or Scarlet. Actually,
I mean, you don't want him to have a job, that's for sure. You want
Scarlet was dressed as Mystique from the X-Men, and she had like a bodysuit on. It was awesome. Loved Scarlet's Halloween costume, by the way. I actually really like what Scarlet does as far as like spooky stuff is concerned on YouTube.
Oh God, dude, the reverse pedal is fucking hot.
No.
Like
that
you
have not let me finish.
That
Look,
thing
I'm
into reverse.
Down.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna double down. Now, Kevin, Don, when you see him, let him know that I was disappointed to see him get fired. However, his absence has not been as noticeable as he would have hoped it would have been.
Oh my God, dude.
No, Kevin is Carrie Cross's first name. So let Kevin know that his absence was not as noticeable as we would have first implied it may have been. That being said, Scarlett's Halloween costume was great. I like their spooky stuff, but I don't know. Make money with Matt Cardona. I'll watch that on YouTube. It'll be great.
I'm so done with you, bro.
Was that not? Did I not?
I'm so done with you.
Did I not deliver appropriately? Was that not the appropriate delivery? Were you not wanting that? Is that one? That's not what you wanted.
I mean,
what did you want? What do you want from me, Walt?
I'm proud of you, Tom. You know, you've taken the show in stride today.
What I do is I come up here and then I bring it right back down here. This is what I do.
Hey, Seth Rollins trying to tell everybody he's going to be out 6 months. Seth Rollins is Dave Meltzer at this point. He has zero credibility.
I was going to say, I'm still not sure I can believe him. If you didn't hear my fingers tapping on the desk, I'm still not sure I can believe him. I feel like I want to believe him and like feel sorry for him, but also I feel like he's going to show up and be like, "You motherfuckers, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble."
Don says that Cross has to be coming back. There's way too many injuries right now. Seth Rollins talking about him right now.
Maybe not. Look, maybe he's a pain in the ass backstage. I mean, that's very much a possibility. Right? Like, as somebody who is professionally a pain in the ass, I know a pain in the ass when I sees one. And I think that he was probably a good soldier at one point for one match that lasted 30 seconds, and then he decided that wasn't cool. So I don't know, man. I fucking don't know. We've heard his side of the story. That's the only side of the story we've heard. I know, man. They got a lot of guys in NXT they've invested a lot of time and effort into. Might they get bigger pops and sell more t-shirts? I don't know. I really don't know. That's going to be the real test, is Obafemi, right?
Yeah.
Because, he's as over as Tommaso Ciampa or Adam Cole ever were. But also, he's much fucking bigger and much more, like, main roster ready, I think. So I think what they do with him is going to be very telling as to what that whole landscape looks like. Is like, do we need to bring in outside talent? Do we already have these guys? Does that outside talent already exist? Have we already developed them? And is it Obafemi? And is it Ethan Page? And is it fucking, about to be Hank and Tank and Tony D'Angelo and Stax? Or wait, did we fire Stax? Is Stax fired?
I don't remember.
If Adriana Rizzo has knees that work again, is Rizzo gonna be?
Hey, keep it moving. I got a new wrestling shirt that I.
All right, go get your wrestling shirt. But as far as NXT is concerned, we just had a big NXT pay-per-view, Halloween Havoc, which was I didn't watch until yesterday. So fuck me. But holy shit, Halloween Havoc. What a fun show. We got Sol Rucka dropping a title to Blake Monroe. We got Ethan Page continuing to be Ethan Page. Halloween Havoc was great. And so we've got all these things coming and happening, and there's all these NXT talents, and it feels like there's all these holes in the roster now because, for the longest time, it was like, well, we got all these veterans and all these things coming. Everything's coming to a head and yada, yada, yada. But now here we are with this John Cena, tournament thing going on, and we got all these holes in the roster. Fucking SmackDown there's 4 women who aren't hurt on SmackDown, and there's all this space for some new talent. Do you bring an outside talent like a Karrion Kross, a lot of people, or do you just look to your homegrown talent that you're supposed to be developing to be your main roster next generation of the greatest wrestlers of all time ever, and just go with them? And I feel like that's probably where we're going with all of this. We're just going to get NXT talent. We're going to get a big wave. We're going to get a big wash of NXT talent, and hopefully they all swim instead of sink.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's going to be the premise of all of that. So I got this shirt here, and I bought it from the TikTok shop.
Oh, they didn't just take your money and never send you a shirt?
No, and it actually came extremely quickly.
That's crazy.
3 days. I've had this shirt for a couple of months now, and I actually forgot about it until I hung it up today. It was just sitting in the package over with my shoes and shit, and so I this is the front little pocket. And it's on this really nice heavy duty acid wash.
That's acid wash.
Black t-shirt, right? Look at this back hit.
Holy shit, I love that. That's way better than anything official.
How fucking cool is that?
That is. I don't want to minimize the death of Bray Wyatt to anything other than a tragedy, but his premature death really has cemented him as sort of this just epic being of lore, right?
Yes, yeah.
He is gonna be the he already is. He's the Andre the Giant, Iron Sheik, now Hulk Hogan, sort of mythic creature of there was this time, right? There was this there was this man. He was maybe more than a man. And you can take so many clips and just kind of clip together the perfect and WWE is fantastic at this. This perfect legend that is Bray Wyatt, right? And you cut out the red Hell in a Cell with Seth. That we don't mention that. That didn't happen. We don't talk about that.
I mean, the match was good, other than the red light and the end.
Until the red light came on and didn't come off, and then the end. But the rest of the match was fine. You could tell there was a moment where they both went, "Oh, this isn't. We're not shutting this off. Oh, okay, all right, okay. We can work with this. We can make this work. We will make this work." And the end of the match happened, and whoever booked that, I hope does not work for WWE. I hope it was Vince that booked it.
It was Vince.
Okay, good, because he doesn't work there anymore. So that was terrible. And that was as bad as pooping on that girl's head. Same level of bad.
That back hit, though, on that T-shirt, though. Woo!
But the back on that T-shirt, unbelievable. And to be fair, well, that was the worst part. The second worst part was like him coming back through
the regeneration tunnel at WrestleMania.
Regeneration tunnel, that's what it was. Yes.
Well, because they found out that he couldn't work in that in the burned up gimmick. That's probably why that happened.
Oh, well, so we have to come up with a tunnel of regeneration. Yes. Okay. But yeah. So that was the first word. The red Hell in a Cell was the first baddest. The second baddest was the tunnel of regeneration. That seemed to be out of necessity more than anything else. But yeah, it was if we omit those things, Bray Wyatt is a legendary character, a legendary feature.
Twice.
The Fiend was fucking terrifying for a year.
Oh yeah.
A whole year. He was like, Jesus fucking Christ. And they put the title on him, and that made sense. And then I think Goldberg took it off him. It was that was sort of the beginning of the end of that. But like,
yeah, but I think wasn't that the time when Goldberg was like, no, yeah, Goldberg. The second time the Fiend lost the belt, was the vessel for what became the Tribal Chief. So that's less egregious, but I don't know.
No, that was fine. That was great. No problems with the Fiend losing to Roman Reigns. That was cool.
We didn't lose to Roman Reigns. He lost. He got pinned. Yeah, he did get pinned by Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fine.
Ended up being fine. We didn't think it was fine in the moment.
But in the moment, it was like, what the fuck again? It was Jesus Christ again, kind of a thing. And it was because
that was wreck everyone and leave Roman Reigns,
right? But it was because that Goldberg win was that wound was still so fresh.
Yeah.
And it was the second one.
So
it's a killer shirt.
Yeah, real happy with it. So TikTok shop. It was a late night drunken purchase, and I do not regret it.
Sure shouldn't.
There's reportedly belief among wrestling circles in Mexico that Andrade may be headed back to the WWE. Now, this is obviously over a week old. We didn't do a show last week. My bad. This comes after his recent departure from WWE and after making his return to AEW, only to disappear immediately after in what has become an absolutely bizarre situation due to the allegations of him breaching his non-compete agreement with the company. It was previously reported that Andrade could be forced to sit on the sidelines for an entire year due to the agreement unless he seeks legal action, and the belief is he'll be forced to return to WWE rather than being frozen out for the remainder of this time.
That would be wild. I don't know how they would put him on TV. I think so I've read the contract language. Do I think it holds up in court? No, I don't. Do I think it's in there so that Andrade has to hire a lawyer and take him to court and spend 5 months fighting this before he can actually return anywhere else in America? Yes, that's what it's about. WWE will happily spend the money to screw him over because, quite frankly, the whole departure and all of it, like he's a dick about it, right? He failed a contractual drug test. He failed it, and for performance enhancing drugs, you don't get jacked like that without those. But maybe it's cocaine too. Who knows? Maybe sleep is hard, maybe being awake is fun. But it's so there's that, and if you're Andrade, what do? Do you go bury your head and eat pins on Raw and house shows and whatever else? Or do you just sit at home, be a dick? Do you hire a lawyer and fight for 6 months and spend $1 million, the $1 million that they paid you? What do you do? Because, like, they're going to be petty about it, despite, them having to sell $8 tickets on Halloween. Are they going to, what do you do? I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I know Andrade's a millionaire several times over. War Games, Mexico versus USA. Return of Trump to WWE. Oh my! Wait. If Trump's going to take bumps, I'm into this. Okay, hard bumps. We're going to let Trump take like Canadian destroyers and stuff. Is Trump gonna take like a superplex? We're gonna superplex Trump. Oh man, what if he shits his pants on live television? I mean, what if Trump shits himself on television? There'll be a riot in San Diego. I don't know that makes sense. Anyway, back to Andrade. What do you do if you're Andrade? Do you spend money to I need to wrestle in America? Here's all of my WWE winnings to my lawyer. What do you do? What's the call? I don't have a good answer. Man, I feel like the guy kicked himself in his own shins. Like, am I wrong to say that he kicked his own shins in?
No.
He's put himself between a rock and a hard place where it's like, is this an unfair clause in your contract? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it's an unfair clause. Are you going to have to spend a lot of money and wait a long time anyway to get a court to say, Andrade Cien Almas, you, sir, are correct. This is unfair to you. WWE needs to let you go and work in America, and they're going to pay you $500,000 after you've already spent $1.5 million on your lawyer, and then he's going to take a chunk of that, and they're going to make an example out of him because they have the money to make an example out of him, and God, was he an asshole about it. And so in the long run, this saves them WWE money because, Jesus, look what happened when Andrade was an absolute fucking cunt about this, despite being sort of like a upper mid card kind of guy. Then I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on this? Because I feel like I'm in the sense of where it's just nobody wins in this scenario.
No, not a fucking chance. I agree with what you said. It's I don't know how you turn around and put this guy back on TV, right? And you can't necessarily just relegate him to the house show loop because there isn't one. In that point in time, if he comes back to WWE, you're just paying him to sit in catering. It seems like a bad investment. unless you do the unthinkable thing and you put him back on TV and you put him into a priority spot, and maybe you guys come to some terms and some agreements on some creative direction, and you can absolutely situate it to make money with him. I think that he's got big star potential. I just don't know that it's been unlocked. His work inside inside the ring after the bell rings is top tier, phenomenal. Nobody can doubt that. When he's
No.
given time, he puts on great matches. The problem continues to be the language barrier. And you can't just say, oh, well, just put him back with Zelina Vega, because that's dead now. Zelina is paired up with her husband. You're going to have to find him some sort of
And that's
mouthpiece.
fucking cool. Look, I'm just going to say it out loud. That was fucking cool both times. There's only been 2 segments. Both segments fucking cool. Okay? Both times it happened, I was like, this has legs. Like this could be great. I hope it is great. SmackDown needs a kick in the ass, and something cool like this. This is that. And I think this is going to be cool. Like 6 months from now, we're going to look back at me saying, this is fucking cool. And we're like, dude, this was fucking cool. And this still is fucking cool. And I hope it is. And I hope that's where we are. Because both of even though he lost, cool. Fucking cool. Anyway, moving on. Sorry.
No, you're good. So no, it's just one of those things where you're going to have to give the guy a mouthpiece, and it's going to have to make sense. But I don't know that you're in the situation with Andrade where he can have a mouthpiece, right?
Or that you can trust him.
I mean,
you can. It's the trust.
You can do you could give him the Shinsuke treatment with the subtitle vignettes and go that route. But I think that you lose a certain level of fan connection when you do it exclusively that way. I don't know. There's a lot of hurdles to bring Andrade back into the fold, and it seems like it's far easier if you're WWE to just let it be what it is. You sent your cease and desist, and that's the only money you need to throw at it until you need to throw more.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me to bring him back at this point in time.
Especially because, like, this is only, like, really enforceable in America. Like, he can work in a multitude of Mexican promotions where he owns homes. The man he's worth something like $5 or $6 million, like, as American dollars. So, like, if he just wants to live in his home in Mexico and work in Mexican promotions and make Mexican promotion money for the next year, he can do that and still comfortably be very fucking wealthy, right? Yeah. And I think this is really where the internet kind of loses their shit, right? Like, this man is wealthy already, right? Like, he's wealthier than anybody who's arguing over this. And he can live in his fucking mansion in Mexico and continue to be wealthy in Mexico and work and wrestle in Mexico, where he is wealthy and owns property and is a native resident of, for the next year, and then do whatever the fuck he wants after that. Now, does WWE have him backed into a corner, and is that sort of like petty on their part? Absolutely. But, like, why should anybody else care, right? And I think that's the main point. Why should anybody give a shit? He can be wealthy in Mexico and work in Mexico for a whole year. Can I be wealthy in Mexico and work in Mexico for a year? That would be great. I'd do that. And then can I be a wealthy American after that too and have $4 million in the bank after earning money in Mexico while being wealthy in Mexico for a year? Would you take that deal?
Sure.
I'd take that deal. Maybe that's a great deal. And maybe that's the deal he ought to take. And, like, I'm not even, like, gonna compare him to like Alberto Del Rio, but like that was the deal Alberto Del Rio took. He was wealthy in Mexico for a decade, worked in Mexico for the last decade. And now he can kind of work in America again, and he's still wealthy by American terms. What the fuck are we arguing about, internet wrestling community? Let the guy make his own financial decisions. You're not involved. It's not fair. Okay, great. I'm glad you're commenting on the fairness of a multimillionaire, regardless if it's a Mexican or an American citizen. Like, get fucked. What do you make? Like, you don't make that much. I don't make that much. Let him figure his own wealth out. It's not our problem. And he's not our problem. He doesn't even have a problem. His problems are not problems. Let him fucking go. It's fine. He's fine. He'll be fine.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. It doesn't move the needle for me one way or another. So
I hope this is the last time we talk about him, unless he shows up and dies on television, which I'll be sad. But like, if he shows up on TV, I'll be like, oh shit, look at that. Go figure. Whatever. Fuck it. I'm over it. I'm over it. All the way over it.
You know what else you're going to be over? Saturday night's main event.
It was over for me. I was over it. I fucking look. Okay. I'm gonna preface this with saying that I was overly critical of most of Saturday night's main events as a glorified house show. This was not. This was a bona fide pay-per-view or premium live event. This was a top tier, no nonsense, knockdown, drag out slobber knocker. And I loved most of it. Most of it. There was a little pre-show. Bailey was involved. That match was cool. It lasted 10-ish minutes. It's on YouTube. You should watch it. It's fun. There was 4, count them 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 title matches. 2 of them saw new champions crowned. One of them was just fucking knockout amazing. One of them underdelivered, but it wasn't as bad as the internet would let you believe. And I thought overall, this may have been the greatest Saturday night's main event of the new era of Saturday night's main events.
Well, let's start at the top. We had Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Undisputed Championship against Drew McIntyre.
So going into this, and I was disappointed in the end, but the fact that Cody cheated to sort of like, oh, the referee didn't see it, and like Cody used the title to like.
Am I the only person? I know that I'm not, but did you notice that when they hit the DDT, the side plate popped off the leather?
Yes. Well, not only did I notice it live, I was like, "Hey, that broke." That was all I said. We were at a friend's house, and my stipulation for going to the friend's house, who I know as also a wrestling fan, I'm like, we were going to like, well, we're gonna have a game night. It's gonna be fun. And I'm like, but Saturday night's main event is on. And it was like Rob, our friend Rob, said, I'll put it on. We'll watch it. It'll be great. I said, okay, great. I'm coming. On my way. Let's fucking go. So we watched it. I said, did they break that? Did they break the title? It was the title, but you did see it go. So I wanted to see Drew win, but this gives Drew an out. I do think, God, hopefully, I hope I'm not going to eat my words and be like, motherfucker, like, because I'll be salty. But right now I'm placated by this match because I feel like this will continue and we will see this move on. And I hope that Drew is actually the one to take it from Cody Rhodes. That being said, Drew has been in this position a lot where he loses sort of shitty matches where he shouldn't lose. Not that the match itself was shitty. The match itself was very good. But I feel like this is kind of just a sort of of any of the matches, this was the house show level match that sort of just progresses the feud rather than is actually a nail in the coffin. And the fact that it went on first, I feel like sort of set me at ease as to what the finish was. So I was not upset with this. I know there's other people who are upset with this, and that's fine, and you can be, and I'm not like saying that you're wrong for being upset, but to me, this is just like, oh, this is going to go a little further than Saturday night's main event, and that was the point. So I was good with this match. I thought it was a great match, top to bottom. I thought it was really good. Cody cheated to beat Drew. I think he felt like he needed to.
Triple H teased a heel turn in the post-match, the post-event press conference too.
Yeah, and that too. So I'm not opposed to any of this. I feel like it moves the story forward, both for Drew and for Cody. So I'm okay with it in the moment. That could change. This is an easy fumble for WWE if they fumble it. So, but at the moment, I'm good. So good match. I'll give it a 7 or 8. It was very above average. 7 or 8 out of 10.
Moving on, we had the Intercontinental Championship Triple Threat match. Penta versus Rusev versus Dirty Dom.
10 out of 10. Everything I wanted this match to be. Love. This was only love for me. They were pandering to me. Every second of it was perfect. Dominic ringing the bell while Rusev had the accolade in, and then he's like talking to the ref, and the ref's like, no, you don't understand. And then Dom showing up and just fucking stealing another one. Oh my, like this is building on the legacy of what Dominic has already been doing with both of these guys on Raw, on SmackDown. Just amazing. This is the best told story in wrestling, and if you don't think that, you're absolutely fucking wrong. And this is not to say, oh, this is the best told story in WWE. This is the best told story in wrestling, period. Although Hangman Adam Page did put on the best Tony Schiavone costume that could have ever been done as the Phantom of the Opera. That was insane. Also, by the way, like on the same day, but like, Jesus fucking Christ, how good was this match? Holy shit. Like, holy fucking shit. This is like a magnum. We are going to look back at this as just a magnum opus of like Intercontinental like masterpiece. Like this whole segment, because the Dom versus Penta, Dom versus Rusev, Dom versus Penta, Dom versus Rusev, triple threat, like a magnum opus of just magnificent wrestling, heel, face, triple threat, incredible work from everybody involved. All of the booking has been made me jump out of my seat every time. Incredible. Moving on. Walter, your thoughts?
I thought it was great. I enjoyed everything about the finish with the false bell ring. A little disappointed we didn't get a title change here. A little disappointed we didn't get a title change in the Drew match. I very much, and I told you this, and I'll continue to echo this. I really felt like this would have been a great place to pivot the entirety of everything and try to go off in a different direction. We should have changed all 4 titles here today or on Saturday, and I would have been okay with that, and I would have been along for the ride. But at the same point in time, obviously Dom Mysterio is on a tear, and friend of the show, Don the Barber, wants to know: does Dominic Mysterio get Insider's Wrestler of the Year for 2025?
I mean, if not, it's a crime, right?
Well, I mean, he's definitely not going to get the Observer newsletters fucking anything. I don't think.
I mean, did he win Rookie of the Year? Did they give
Mhm.
that? Yeah. I mean, he's
had a good year. He's had a great year. He's had a
I
great year.
feel like every year of his main roster year, other than maybe the first one, has been the best year of anybody that's been a wrestler for. I mean, the guy is low key on a Stone Cold run right now, and he's 27 years old. Stone Cold was in his mid 30s by the time he was doing this, and Dom is just fucking tearing the house down.
No, I mean, Stone Cold probably would have been in a little bit better spot too if his daddy was Rey Mysterio. Anyways, moving on.
Crazy if Stone Cold's dad was Rey Mysterio. Good Lord.
We've got the women's championship match between Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. Jade Cargill gets the win, new women's champion. Tom.
I actually kind of loved the match too. This was really I went into this, I feel with low expectations because Jade and Tiffy have already squared up a few times. They both looked incredible. They really both have chemistry in a way that we've seen Tiffany not have chemistry with Charlotte Flair.
I mean, this was a clear-cut squash match. I don't know what you're talking
about. It really
was.
But Tiffany made Jade look like $10 million.
Maybe Jade made Jade look like $10 million. Maybe she's finally figured it out.
I hope so too. I think
clearly they see something that we don't because they put the belt on her.
Right.
And at the same point in time, I think that it's the proper timing because I'm gonna tell you what, Tiffany Stratton's title reign fizzled out after the whole. Is that why Kaiser's in my DMs, Tiffany?
Yeah, the Charlotte Flair thing
going into WrestleMania derailed her entire.
It did reign. This. It went
fizzled out.
Boom. Now I thought she redeemed herself over current weeks. Her whole feud with Jade I thought was good. But you're right. It was time for that to go. 302 days. It's not a scoff at a title reign. There were 4 women on SmackDown who weren't hurt, who could correctly feud. I feel like the only person she didn't feud with who would have been a main event contender was Alexa Bliss. And Alexa was also a face the whole time. That probably would have been dumb. So to just sort of all right, well, let's pivot. I feel like Bianca's probably about to be back. Let's put the title on Jade. Let's let Jade and Bianca become a thing. Even if it needs more time, you can just let Jade squash whomever. And you can let Jade literally whomever. Just let her squash mid-card talent for a while. And then let her build a feud to WrestleMania with Bianca. And once Bianca's healthy and her hand is not fucking ruined, and you go with that. And I think that's where they are now. They know where Bianca is on her road to recovery. And this is going to make perfect sense. And we're going to be talking about this at WrestleMania, holy shit, we called this, but wow, was it great? Kind of a thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like we've done that before. And I think that's where we are now. So hopefully that's what's about to happen. I agree with you. The Tiffy 302 days, long enough. We're good. It was good. Good for her. She'll have better title reigns in the future, I think. I'm not sour on Tiffany by any stretch of anybody's.
No, me neither. But we needed to hit the reset button there. And
And she needs to be a heel.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Pat Martin. I don't remember him having numbers behind his name.
Did he? Is this new Pat?
Is this is this an imposter?
Impatster?
Oh, I see what you did there. Anyways, if this is friend of the show, maybe this is El Grande Ameripatricano.
It might be.
He also says it's me. I don't.
All right.
That's exactly what El Grande El Patricano would want us to believe.
Good. I agree. Good win for Jade.
Anywho, El Patrick, whatever. I've changed it every time. I hate to say it, but Tiffy time is over. Good win for Jade.
I agree. I think this was the right call. Also, I also really liked this kind of squash match. It was a little glorified. Tiffy got her
Should have
shit
been
in.
way worse. She should have just beat the fuck out of Tiffany Stratton for 6 minutes.
See,
Just beat the ever loving fucking dog shit out of her.
Look,
Just left her for dead in the middle of the fucking ring.
We got 12
just
minutes.
fucking
of what
here's
was.
your daddy's little fucking angel just fucking stretched out in the middle of the fucking ring. I did that shit.
Now you're being egregious. Now you're being egregious.
Nah, fuck that, dude. I'm over.
See, I feel like this went the way that it should have.
And listen, Jade's title reign ahead could go either way. Like, this could be the most wonderfully put together title run of all time, or this could be an epic train wreck. Either way, we're gonna know, and I think we're gonna know relatively quickly.
We're gonna have an idea on Friday. And then by like a month from now, we're gonna be like, oh God. So we'll see. I hope that the point of this was because Bianca's gonna be back soon, and we can get all of this started. So we can feed, whatever, Candice LeRae and a few people to Jade. We could feed some small opponents to Jade for however long we need to before we decide to build up with this Bianca Belair feud with Jade Cargill. Once Bianca has hands that work. Great. Look, I'm all for that, right? Like, let her squash Candice. Let her squash whomever she wants. Let her fight Naomi and let Naomi not Naomi. Nia Jax, because Nia's been gone for a little while. Let her fight with Nia for a little bit. Let them have like some back and forths. Fuck you kind of thing. And let them stonewall each other. Like, they don't sell each other's moves. Great. Let them do that for a little while. And then let Jade finally overcome Nia Jax. And then let Bianca come out and be like, bitch, fuck you. Just go from there. And I think that would be great. I'm all for that. I'm ready to watch it. I think that's where they're going. Cool. I'm here for it.
We'll see what happens. I reserve any optimism until I see the first promo.
Friday. It's coming Friday.
And then we had our main event, Jey Uso versus CM Punk for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk is your new World Heavyweight Champion. Kind of saw that one coming.
Mm-hmm. So I want to preface this with the internet's been really mad since this was announced because they really wanted LA Knight in this spot. But I'm going to ask the internet, did you really want LA Knight to eat another pin? Because CM Punk was going to win. There was no universe where CM Punk is not the champion coming out of this. They probably were like, do we let Jay do it? Do we let Punk do it? Jay could lose, and he won't lose any credibility. They won't lose any t-shirt sales, which is really more important if we're all being honest with ourselves. Jay would not lose any t-shirt sales. LA Knight can't really eat another pin. He can't. his eating a pin count is full right now. He has to win, and he has to win a lot moving forward. They've beat him too much. That's probably to WWE's fault, right? That's probably a WWE creative fault. But I feel like if you let LA Knight in that spot and he loses again, that's it for LA Knight. He is now he's chasing Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title, and that's it. And I'm not saying or he's chasing who's the US champ right now.
Ilya Dragunov.
He's getting beat by Dragunov now because that's even worse, right? Like because Dragunov's not dropping that. Dragunov looks like the next main event guy, right? Like he's not beating Ilya Dragunov. So yeah, they put it on Jey Uso to eat the pin. Was this a great match? No. Was it as bad as the internet thinks it was? Also, no. It was the weakest match on the card.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate for them because it went a long time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. It was just kind of mid. Did Jay botch a neck breaker or did he try to get out of it and did commentary unsell it? Were their styles mismatched? Because like Punk works kind of a methodical match and Jay works kind of a sloppy match, but like that's kind of his style. It's very like loosey boned kind of, So I feel like it's more of a mismatch of styles versus a like bad match per se. I don't know. So funny story. Like we went to a friend's house because it was Saturday and I was like, I don't know if I want to go, but he was like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to watch Saturday night's main event. I just kind of wanted to watch it here. Like I've got a nice bottle of whiskey. I just want to watch. Like I want to hang out. I don't have the kids. Like I have the kids a lot on Saturday. So like, I feel like I just want to watch wrestling and kind of hang out. And he was like, well, what if I put on wrestling? I'm like, okay, cool. Well, like, let's put it on. He's a wrestling fan too, but they have a toddler and like, obviously I have kids. Like I love my friend and his kids are great. But like we're there and we're watching it, but like his daughter's down there that she's running around. It's kind of like distracting, but I'm watching and like we're having drinks, we're having a good time, everything's good. But as the main event comes on, it's like, oh, well, we need to put on like a show so she can go to bed and yada yada. I'm just like, okay, that's fine. Like I like you guys, I've been here, but like also I wanted to watch this, but it's cool. Put it on because like I like her and I like you and I like everybody, but I didn't watch it live. So I watched it like the next morning when I got up and I kind of got to like be more like in the moment. And I feel like, and I got to be more critical, right? Because I was like, it was the morning. We obviously had some drinks the night before. I was a little sore. I was eating Cheerios. I was not drinking beer. I was eating Cheerios and, kind of like extra critical. So like, I feel like I took it a little harder than I would have, after having had a good time hanging out with my friends. So maybe my perspective is a little sour, but like it seemed to me as though it wasn't as good as it should have been.
Because it wasn't.
Yeah.
It felt very, very disjointed. It was clunky and
mismatch of styles.
Yes,
was what it felt like to me.
A lot of people on the internet are fucking making fun of Jey Uso, saying that he was blown up and that he needs to take better care of his body and this, that, and the other. And
I don't know about all that.
Some people are trying to lay it on Punk's doorstep because he's in his advanced years, etc., etc. Um, I just think
Neither
these are two guys that are at the tippy top of their game in different eras of their life, that just didn't come together to do good business.
I feel like the styles were so mismatched, and that's kind of the problem, right? Because like Punk is sort of slow and methodical, and Jay is sort of like loose and not sloppy. Sloppy is the wrong word, but he's kind of like loose and like even when he gets out of things, it's because he stood up and kind of like slithered out, right? Like sort of a like drunk Randy Orton.
Yeah,
Um, and I feel like those two styles sort of because like Jay is kind of explosive, which is cool. With other guys who are fast, right? Because like Jay can kind of work slow and like kind of like pushy and like kind of like what, like with the arm thing. Um, but then when he explodes, it's cool. But that works extra well when the guy around you is moving fast. When somebody's moving really slow, not really slow, but somebody's moving more of a Randy Orton, Triple H kind of pace, like CM Punk works. Um, it's kind of a mismatch of styles because, like, even when Jey Uso explodes out of it, it's kind of like, well, nobody's kind of like everything's kind of been moving slow anyway, and when he explodes out of it, it's almost like you're listening to like a Celine Dion song until you get to that point, and it's like you're here, and it's like stop, like we're not gelling, like this doesn't work, and it's like you've just thrown like a hardcore breakdown in the middle of like a slow dance, and it came out of nowhere. So it's not everybody feels weird about it, and that's what happened. So yeah, to me, style mismatch.
sorry.
You're fine. To me, style mismatch and kind of like they should have sort of figured it out beforehand to kind of like maybe pick Punk up. Like Punk should have maybe moved a little faster and maybe had a little more of a flurry before Jay broke out and kind of like did his like kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, it just I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. Obviously, we knew CM Punk was going to be the clear cut winner. Um, Interested to see where they go from here. Really looking forward to getting off here and watching Monday Night Raw.
So, spoiler for you, main event of Raw is Jay and Punk versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed,
Hmm, interesting.
which I feel like we've seen before.
We have.
But like that's, I mean, and I shut it off in the first hour, like because we went live here. Um, but that was the last promo I watched was like Jay showing up because Logan Paul came out with CM Punk, and then Jay afterwards saw Punk in the back and was like, "Hey man, like I appreciate you. I appreciate what we did on Saturday. Congratulations. I'm coming for that, but me and you, we can take out the Vision. We can stop this problem." And Punk was like, "Look, am I talking to Jay or am I talking to Little Roman?" And Jay was like, "Look, Oos, this is main event Jay Uso right now. Hell yeah." And they kind of went with that. So I don't know how the main event went. I don't know how the last hour and a half of Raw went, but that's where we were. And I don't know, man. Like, I feel like everybody's still fine after that. Like, the
Yeah,
internet's really like, oh my God, it was the worst match ever. But, like, as somebody who has been very critical of Saturday night's main event and been like, this shit is like a glorified house show for most of them, this was probably the best overall Saturday night's main event. We need to quickly talk about somebody who was not there this week for the first time. in Saturday night's main event?
Who was missing? I didn't.
Jesse the Body Ventura. Now, why, why would he have not been there?
I don't know. Why was he?
Oh, wait, I know why. Oh, wait, pick me. Ooh.
What? What? I can see
Okay,
you
so-
this week.
So, not in the last one, because he did have a hard minute with Joe Tessitore in the last Saturday night's main event. But the one prior to that was when Drew McIntyre was in the Hell in a Cell match, and they tried to leave, and he tried to leave, and Jesse was like, "Wait, you can leave out the door? Who can leave out the door?" And like everybody in commentary went, "Oh shit!" Like we have to explain the rules of the match to Jesse Ventura. You can leave out the door. That's been a rule since Bruno Sammartino, because they would lock that door and then Bruno would beat the shit out of the heel until they couldn't move anymore, and then he would walk out the door, because Bruno Sammartino was not climbing over the top rope of a cage. Now, during the 80s, late 80s, or mid late 80s and early 90s, like the door kind of went away, right? And that's Jesse's time. It was like, well, to get out, you obviously have to climb over the top, right? And then like they explained the whole thing to him during a Saturday night's main event cage match, and Jesse was like, well, that sounds like bullshit to me. And it was like, buddy, how have you not known the rules to wrestling for 30 years? And the internet was torn on this, because it was like, well, maybe Jesse's right. But also, like, it's been a long time. Like, it's been since we were born that rule has been in effect. Like, it was a big thing in the 70s to our grandmas while they were cheering for Bruno Sammartino. And he would walk out that door, because that motherfucker could not climb over the top of that cage. But during the 80s and 90s, that was how everybody left, right? Like, only dastardly heels walked out the door. And dastardly heels never won that way, because only a babyface can win in a cage match in the 80s and 90s. And they went over the top rope like real men, or over the top of the cage like real men. But anyway, so Jesse kind of botched that, because like he just didn't know the rules. And like that was a common criticism of Jesse for every single Saturday night's main event that he had. It was like, why do you not know the rules of these matches, dude? Like, fucking come on, help us out here. Watch the program. And now he's gone.
Well, maybe he just had a schedule conflict.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not opposed to him coming back, but like, I was heavily critical.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do commentary anymore.
No. Look, if he's going to show up and do the pre-show and hang out with Joe, the pre-show I feel like is where Jesse would shine, because you can say that shit on the pre-show, right? Like, you can be like, I don't know, this guy needs to like go over the top rope and don't go out that door. That's a pansy move there, brother. And like you can do that on the pre-show, right? But like during commentary, you can't be like, the rules are bullshit. Like, the rules are the rules. That's what makes pro wrestling. It's like, if we don't have an understanding of the rules, and if, especially as put over by commentary, and then when the rules are enforced as put over by commentary, like that's the sort of like the pinnacle of wrestling, right? Like, you can't break that. Like, that's the sacred like little square, right, of the rules. So I don't know. I feel like if we don't enforce that, like, and if you just let Jesse Ventura be like, well, the rules shouldn't be that way. It's like, buddy, fuck off. Like, no, these are the rules. Like, they were pre-established. Everybody agreed that them's the rules. Shut up. Right? Like,
Yeah.
like that's not like them's the rules, buddy. You can't be like, well, that's a dumb rule. Like, no, shut up. That's not like that's your color commentary. Don't tell us what the rules should be 15 minutes in.
El Grande Patricano says, could Jesse just be the third wheel with the other two commentators? No, he did that already, and it was god awful.
It just the problem is that it like tracks, like the commentators have to like redirect where the commentary is going. It's like, no, Jesse, you're wrong. This is the rule, and like this is where we have to roll. And also, this guy is throwing this other guy into steel, and we have to announce that. You know, it's not the place to debate the rules, right? Like commentary of the live match is not the place to debate the rules of the match. You have to understand as a commentator, well, and everything is perfectly legal now, as Corey Graves likes to say. It's all perfectly legal. And if it's not legal, you have to point out they're cheating. And that's it. That's all you're doing on commentary. You shouldn't be debating on commentary whether or not these are the correct rules you should have in this match. Like this is already settled and everybody already understands the rules.
You're just a Jesse Ventura hater.
Do we not do this? Like, could you imagine if the NFL was like, if the commentators in the NFL were like, this rule's dumb. And then the refs were like, commentary thinks this rule's dumb and we're going to not enforce it. That's essentially what it is. At the end of the day, we need to be able to suspend our disbelief and make this seem like it's real. And Jesse breaks that, and that's just, it's not good for anybody. It's just not.
Listen. I agree. It's not good, right? Like, it's not. The show did not suffer because he was not there.
No, it was the best Saturday Night's main event that they've ever had. I mean, the main event was a little underwhelming, but I'm not going to say, oh, it should have been on fucking Raw this week. Like, no, it was still the main event.
Don the Barber says, yeah, that's called Tony Romo.
I mean, have we noticed that we've not seen as many clips of Tony Romo like going viral this year? Like that was a last year thing. They've reeled him in. Can't reel in Jesse the Body. You just can't. Like,
No.
And so they tried. They were like, well, let's give him a little segment here. And then I'm sure they had a fight after that. Like, well, why can't I like be on commentary anymore? And they were like, buddy, you don't fucking know shit. You kind of ruin the match that you commentate. It's just, you can have a segment, like say your piece there. You want to be on the pre-show. You want to be on the post-show. Okay, great. But like, no. And he was like, well, I'm just not coming. And that's probably what happened, right? Is they were like, you look, you can be pre-show, you can be post-show. I'm going to have a little segment in there. We'll have Joe talk to you. It'll be great. He was like, well, I want to do commentary. And like they said, no, you don't watch the program. You don't know what's going on. You don't watch the show. Like you can't do commentary live without knowing what the fuck is happening. And we're now a year into this and you've never known what the fuck is happening. So pre and post show or sit home. And he was like, well, I'm just going to sit at home. And then he did. And that's it. And it's fine. He's gone. He's done. Great. Okay. Great experiment. It was fun while it lasted. It's not fun anymore. I'm done. I missed nothing. Hey, absolutely. Great. Look, anybody but who we have now. How old Jesse the Body? Hold on. I can figure this out. He is 74 years old, which puts him like 5 years younger than the president. It's not really all that great.
Like what, 17 years younger than Joe Biden? Anywho, moving on.
Like 7.
So coming out of that, the WWE posted a picture to their social medias, as they tend to do after multiple title changes and, you know, things of that nature. It was a picture of Cody Rhodes, Ricky Saints, Jade Cargill, and CM Punk all posing with their WWE championships backstage.
Not pictured, though.
Not pictured are one Ethan Page and one Blake Monroe, who are also of all elite wrestling fame. Tom, I've got to feel like this. And then Mercedes Moné even hits the internet this week and just says AEW is everywhere. Quote tweets the fucking picture. What do you make of this?
I make two things. One, this shows where Tony Khan fumbled, right? And fumbled hard. And I feel like that's where CM Punk was going with this because, one, they let Cody Rhodes lose. Like, well, if I don't win this match, I can never be the AEW champion ever. In the history of AEW, never ever me. Not me, baby. Terrible booking. We even said it at the time. What the fuck are they doing? They're gonna roll this back, right? Like Cody's gonna turn heel. Something's gonna happen. They're rolling this back. No, they never did. Awful decision. Ricky Saints, what a fumble. What a massive fumble. Blake Monroe, honestly, they did great with her in AEW. She accomplished everything she wanted to accomplish. And then she was like, all right, well, this is the goal. So my contract's up. Thank you all. I love you all. Everything was wonderful. I'm going here. I'll see you with gold over there. And here she is. So Cody, we did Blake. Who else got? Ethan Page. I don't know if they fumbled him, but like underestimated is probably a good word. He's been doing nothing but good things since he got to NXT. He's great. I have no complaints. I just think he was slightly underbooked in AEW. I don't think it'll be fine. It's fine for everybody. He's doing the right thing. He could also go back to AEW and it would also be fine. He's fine. CM Punk, what a kind of like, I said at the time, like, oh man, did they fire CM Punk? Or like, they could have let this be the coolest thing in wrestling, but they probably won't let it be the coolest thing in wrestling. And they'll probably just be stupid. And then Tony Khan was like, I was really afraid for my life. And they kind of look like pussies out of all of that. So the fact that CM Punk is doing what he's doing right now and not being a problem is, I don't know. As somebody who's like not the biggest CM Punk fan, I don't know. Like AEW probably should have just sucked it up, and this is sort of like part of that. With Jade, same thing with Blake Monroe. She accomplished everything she was going to in AEW, and like she's grown from there. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully,
why do you think that she accomplished everything she would have accomplished in AEW?
Because they sort of stopped doing anything with her.
Because they realized that she was a fucking one-trick pony and didn't have a skill set that they thought she had.
I mean, she's been better in WWE, or at least
Well, yeah,
worked with
because she's
better
at the
opponents.
Performance Center fucking 6.5 days a week.
Okay, great. She's been working on it. This was actually like a very good match. I don't know. I mean, it's a combination of she's got better opponents and she's got better training. This is where she needed to be. Even if she goes back to AEW, like, eventually, like, I mean, there were a lot of people went back and forth, and I don't know. Like, this just seems to be where she needs to be right now. And she's getting better training. She's got better opponents. And we'll see how her title reign goes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she's ready. But if Bianca's close to coming back, that's the sell, right? Is where it's like, okay, well, look, she can be the champ. And then Bianca comes back and they can feud. And Jade can be a heel. Bianca can be the baby face. And like Bianca can win at WrestleMania whenever that feud starts. It's not going to start tonight, but like, it's not going to start Friday, but like whenever that starts, that'll be great, right? And it'll be a fun program, and that's what they want to happen, right? So it makes sense right now, especially if Bianca's like close to coming back and can actually be like, no, I'll be 100% by WrestleMania. So like they can sort of like have her win the Royal Rumble, have her win Elimination Chamber. Like there's a lot of potential now, and you can have Jade squash whomever between now and then have Bianca win at WrestleMania. It'll look great because you'll just have had Jade squash everybody. Bianca will win. Bianca will carry a match at WrestleMania. It'll go 10, 15 minutes. This is the perfect situation as long as everything works out. And, injuries and everything else can kind of like make that feel weird between now and then. But like this seems to make sense.
So what do you make of Triple H making all of these ex-AEW performers champions underneath of the E?
Is it funny and interesting? Yes, absolutely. And is CM Punk kind of a savage for doing this? Yes, absolutely. However, we are right now sort of hitting the setup to WrestleMania, which is in April. And they're going to want everybody to drop titles in April. We've seen a lot of WrestleManias, and this one being in Las Vegas again, and then we're going to go after WrestleMania. The next one's probably going to be in Saudi Arabia. They're going to want to like make this be a big deal, especially after this past one being a dip. They're going to want to go on the upswing. And how do you make a WrestleMania on an upswing? Oh, we make a lot of people drop titles. You have CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Jade Cargill, and whomever else drop titles. I don't know that Ricky Saints will be at WrestleMania with a title, but
maybe.
I mean, who knows? But like, you have 3 former AEW big time star champions drop titles at WrestleMania. That looks the opposite of what this looks like, and that's at WrestleMania. So it is.
So with WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania looming in just like 2 short months, Don the Barber says, like maybe. Oh, 5. Well, will they have a women's Royal Rumble match this year in Saudi, or is it legal for that many women to be in one place at the same time?
Oof. I don't disagree with Dawn. I mean,
He's
they're going to do it.
He's poking fun at you. You know
They're
that, right?
He's not poking fun. I don't care.
He's
Like,
poking at you.
that's fine. But like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, they're all coming out in bodysuits. Okay. All 30 of them.
And then Pat asked him, if there was a women's Royal Rumble, who would you want to win? Dawn said, Pat, it's only right to let men in now and let Trump win.
Oh my God.
He's all over you today, bud. He's all over you today. He's all over you today.
Hit the thing so we can do match of the week because I have to pee so much.
Oh, he's all over you right now.
Let me pee.
It's crazy to me that like he thought he was going to go pee and come back in that 9-second video clip that is the match of the week introduction. I don't usually get to do this, but I'm going to go first. My match of the week was absolutely Tom's match of the week, and that was the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship between Rusev, Penta, and Dominic Mysterio. Although I didn't really care that we didn't get a title change, Dirty Dom's over like a motherfucker right now. Rusev scaring the shit out of the little boy in the front row was probably the highlight of my weekend. Really genuinely enjoyed all of that. The match was very well put together. Lots of great in-ring action, lots of great gimmicky storyline stuff. It was everything that you want a WWE match to be. I thought they did a very, very good job navigating the waters of the triple threat. Penta looked great. Rusev looked great. Dom looked great. The finish to the match with the false bell, which led to the hammer and the whole thing. 10 out of 10. Dirty Dom goes over. Still your fucking WWE Intercontinental Champion. What a great piece of business. Tom, what's your match of the week?
I mean, obviously it was the same. It was Dom versus Rusev versus Penta. Good look. When Dom rang the bell, while Rusev had the accolade locked in, and then all that happened, and they pan back to Dom, and Dom's like, and he's got the ham. Oh my God. Like I was like, going into this, I'm like, they're gonna make Dom lose, and we're not gonna continue that because these have been the best like shyster wins in the history of wrestling. And we're just going to like have Dom lose in a classic fashion after all of this back and forth with these same two guys. And it's just going to be like, okay, whatever. And like had Rusev won or had Penta won. And I do think Penta should be a mid-card champion. But like, man, did this just make Dom look like $50 million? Like so good. He looked so good. This was the best ruse of this whole Dominic Ruse era because Judgment Day has not helped Dom. And everybody's going to turn on everybody else. Dom's going to be like, fuck you guys. El Grande Americano is helping me out, who has sort of become Doink the Clown. But, like, this guy's helping me out, and you guys have been fucking me over, so fuck all of you. But do they make him turn face? Like, where does this go? I don't want to be like, it's been booked so well up to this point. Like, how do I even criticize where they're going to go, where they might go, where I want them to go? It's been nothing that I've predicted. And interesting at every turn. So, like, yeah, I agree. Same. This was the best match of the week. I watched AEW. AEW was great. Shout out to Hangman Adam Page for having the best Tony Schiavone costume with the Phantom of the Opera mask that I didn't know that. Like, I thought that was Tony Schiavone while I was watching it. And then he pulled it off, and I was like, oh, he did the thing, which I should have known because the Young Bucks shouted back because there was somebody in a Stay Puft Marshmallow costume And they were like, "Oh shit, is that Paige? No, it's not. Okay, all right, we're all alive now. We're moving on." Look, there was a lot of good wrestling this week. This was the best, in my opinion, Saturday night's main event to date. I don't think that I'm remiss in saying that. They've been mostly glorified house shows. This was not that. This was a glorified premium live event. It felt very premium. Better than WrestlePalooza, that's for sure.
That's fair. That's fair. I did think it was a very, very good show. Hopefully, I mean, the next couple aren't going to be that good.
No.
That's just inevitable. But that Intercontinental Championship match was special, and I'm glad that we got
2 title changes. Like, we've never gotten one. We got 2.
I'd have liked to get in 4, but
look, we've gotten 0 up to this point. Like, there was one like in 1994, and it's like we've gotten 0 since then. So like we got 2 in one night. So I'm good. Like, I understand the statistics. 4 would have been fantastic. 3 would have been even better. But we got 2, which was almost as good as 3, but worse than 4. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Dominic should have always retained. Wonderful. 5 stars. Would not have changed. If that match does not get 5 stars, the Wrestling Observer newsletter goes down like even further. Unbelievable. Best triple threat in. I can't think of a better one. Ever? Maybe ever?
that's pushing it.
Well, name me a better one in the last year. You can't. 2 years.
In the last year?
2 years?
I'll have to think on it. You put me on the spot. Usually I'm pretty.
You know what? I'm going to put it on par with Rollins, Punk, and Roman.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It was on par. I would say that you could arguably they were just as good but different.
So it was good though. Great week. Great week that was. Looking forward to hopping off of here watching Monday Night Raw. Hey man, if you're still hanging out with us, man, we appreciate you. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Maybe even consider subscribing. We would greatly appreciate it. A little bit of a long one today. Thanks for hanging out the whole time.
We weren't here.
Man, it's awesome. We weren't here last week. We had 2 weeks worth of shit to cover, and then the 13 minutes to start the show that you had to talk about Dave Meltzer. I apologize for. So so there's that. Check us out over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_fall WC. That's ONE. And as always, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast. Don the Barber says we can let Michelle Obama in the men's rumble.
She might throw out